everybody, back again with another review. Today's review is going to be over the DC Multiverse Azrael in Batman armor. And for those who are actually involved with this actual line or familiar with it, there is two versions of this figure currently out. There is the regular non-platinum version, which is pretty much red, and the only difference is that the areas you see dark gray are actually light gray on the other figure. And actually, there may be another difference, and that difference may be the fact that I think the hands are actually silver on the regular version too, and not white as what it seems basically on the outside here looking in. But yeah, this one took a long time to really track down and actually get it. Currently, he's going for a lot, and I mean a lot, on the aftermarket or just eBay in general. He's ranging anywhere between $80 to like $160 depending on who you get him from, which is why this one was a pain to really track down. I had to search multiple targets, talking about like an hour out, 45 minutes away, total of like 8+ different targets, and pretty much no luck. But then it turned out my ghetto Walmart, and yes, my ghetto Walmart, which pretty much never has anything actually up or in stock, actually had it, even though I had to ask a worker, and then they relayed me to somebody else and told me that person would be there to help me out. It ended up being another 20-25 minutes before I decided to track down another worker, because I figured the other one wasn't going to come. And then eventually this one, I got the guy to look in the back, and he actually had it. There's only one left based on what he said. So yeah, there was a lot of effort put into this figure, so it means a lot to me personally to be able to actually have it in hand and not have to go through that pain and suffering once again. Now that's a long ramble. Let me get into the actual packaging. So it is 12+, just like every other figure. Just because it's platinum doesn't mean the age limit goes up. 22 moving parts. Then here on the side, you're going to see DC Multiverse Azrael Batman armor from Batman Knightsend. And then moving on to the back, same artwork as the non-plat version, which I wish they would just change it up to really give it that more special look and special feel. Instead of it just being the figure, just make the card more special as well. And then you got Azrael Batman armor there at the top, Batman Knightsend once again, and then a QR code here at the bottom. And last but not least, the last side, you're going to get Azrael Batman armor once again with the QR code, DC Multiverse. And for those who may still be searching, let me flip it over. Here is the actual barcode. Now, with that being said, let's get into this figure. Starting off, the first thing you're going to get is a typical display stand from McFarlane, which is just a plain black stand with one foot peg and the DC logo. As you can see, sometimes it's applied on straight, sometimes it's a little crooked. It really just ranges. But yeah, my thoughts personally is that since this is a platinum figure, I think it'd be kind of cool to get something different with the display stand. Like maybe just, I know like the collector edition, the DC logo is actually silver instead of that matte black. So it'd be cool, I feel like, if they really some way made it silver or just added, you know, some type of coloring to it that matches the figure to kind of give it that more platinum feel in general. But that's enough rambling on just a plain display stand. And same thoughts go with the actual card and art, which I already kind of mentioned. I would just wish the artwork was a little different to really signify that it is the platinum version and that it's different, so it's not the same as the regular version. And here also is the read up once again. It matches the non-plat version, so I mean, read it up, pause this video if you want to, if you have not watched the other one already, but it is the same exact thing. Now, the reason you all are here is for the actual figure. So as you can see, pretty much what I can tell is that the hands, they're not white. It's more of a kind of, how would I say this? Really a light blue. It's not like a true baby blue. It's even lighter than that. It's more white. But yeah, pretty much that's one difference I can tell from the regular version. And I mean, this under part may be a little different too. I can't remember the regular versions over there displayed, but I don't feel like getting him or messing with him because he may fall over and knock out like 6 figures. But yeah, that's one difference I can tell. And then another difference, obviously, it's blue instead of red. So everywhere you see blue would be red on the regular version. And then, yes, the actual arms, the legs are dark gray instead of a light gray, which are present on the regular figure. And moving on to the back, I think everything else is the same. Now, when it comes to really just kind of like, you know, red or blue, in my thoughts, I don't know if I have a strict preference, to be honest. I feel like maybe the red is a little bit better, and I think that's mainly just because I like the light gray more than I do the dark gray, to be honest. And then the hands being silver on the regular version instead of this color, I feel like the silver is just a lot more cooler and really gives it that more, I guess, scary aspect in general. But yeah, I do wish that he actually came with extra hands as well instead of just fists, because considering they're like more like claws, I think it'd be cool to really show them. Because I know in the other Azrael figures in Batman armor, he actually had claws and there's more hands that are like able to hold something. So I mean, I guess that's a weakness as well, is that it doesn't come with an accessory just like the regular version. And if it did, then they probably most likely would have included another hand that was open and showed off claws. But I feel like that's something that could have been changed or really just improved on this figure in general. But yeah, pretty much it looks like the same exact detailing and everything. I really do like the detail. Yeah, gold and same aspects as the regular version, as you can see up here on the torso. And then here, whatever you want to call that. Yes, still missing the 2 red dots that are supposed to be there, but that's something I'll forget about it, to be honest, in the future. Got the gold detailing here on the gauntlets as well. Same type of tubing or whatever you want to call it. Going throughout the back, and then same, I guess, cape or armored cape in a way here with these, which kind of make it difficult when you're trying to really find a spot for it on the shelf, because it really interferes with other figures, and also kind of has that poor weight distribution in general, so it's leaning more towards the back, which can create it to fall over, which I witnessed on my on the regular version. But yeah, you got all this detail. You got the little kind of like centerpiece right here, which I guess is the power function in the back. But yeah, everything else is pretty much the same in terms of detail. And yes, it does have that shimmer and shine. And another funny thing is that the regular version, when I first got it out, it smelled like straight paint. Like you probably could have got high just smelling that in general, or just really got lightheaded by just smelling it. Haven't gone back over to check and see if it still smells like that, but that was something that I don't think was present when I opened up the box. At least I didn't smell it, even though my nose is clogged. Let me smell it real quick. Alright, sorry for that, but yeah, it does not smell near as strong, even though I think it has the same clear coat. Could have just been because maybe the red one was more fresh out of the actual facility, and this one may have been sitting around a little bit, or because it's just a difference between the paint they used for the blue compared to the red. But yeah, there is that. So if you open this up, probably not going to get lightheaded based on the smell, but the red one you probably will. So I guess that's the platinum experience right there. But yeah, let's get into the actual articulation. So when it comes to the head here, nice face sculpt once again, easy rotation side to side, and then when it goes up, pretty much that's as high as you can get it. And then looking down, here you go. But yeah, you can get full movement. It's not like loose, but it is that nice and comfortable loose, so you can easily pose it. And when it comes to the arm, be able to get that nice T-pose as well. There you go. Nice T-pose, which is nice to see. Same articulation already as the regular version, which is good, I would hope, since the only difference is the paint application in general. And when it comes to the arm, you're going to be able to rotate it, although this piece right here is going to get in the way. But That's nothing to I guess deduct McFarlane on, because that's just part of his design. And then yeah, you're gonna get the nice kind of like up and down movement here with the ball joint or socket, whatever you want to call it. And then you get a bicep cut as well, as you can see here, rotation. You can hear it as well. And when it comes to the actual elbow, that's about as much as you can get without it being interfered there with his biceps. And then when it comes to the actual wrist, full movement. Then I struggled with the regular version trying to get the wrist up. There you go. Here's the wrist. See it? And then getting down or going down. Looks like this is furthest you're going to get when it comes to going down. So there's that. And when it comes to the actual torso, get that upper movement a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now it's moving. So there, you got it. And then when it comes to ab crunch, it's a little bit there, but not too much. And then going forward, pretty good ab crunch right there, even though it kind of looks like the normal amount, but I promise you there is ab crunch there. And when it comes to the actual splits, although I don't know why you would want a dude to pose like this, but here is the full splits. Perfect there. And when it comes to the actual knee, here you go. There you go. Get the full bend there, no issue. Besides potentially it interfering with the actual armored cape. That's pretty much the only issue you'll face, but once again, that's nothing of issue. Then when it comes to the actual ankle, side to side, no issue. Get to go down that much. And then when it comes to going up this much, and then toe articulation, no issue. Just like it's always a success when it comes to McFarlane figures, and the toe articulation is pretty much a guaranteed every time. So pretty much the same articulation, which is good. The paint application, just because it being blue and dark gray, does not have any effect. I know sometimes paint can sometimes be thicker, but yeah, it seems to be pretty good and doesn't hurt the articulation by any means. That being said, let me get back to my final thoughts. Sort of my final thoughts on the platinum version of Azrael in Batman armor. I would say the blue and then the dark gray changes are kind of cool, just kind of change it up a bit, but I wouldn't say it's like a big difference maker unless you're really into the comics, and I can really see why you would want both versions. The reason I decided to go both versions is just, well, I haven't really gone after the platinum regular version until recently, and I think it's just kind of cool to have two different colors side by side and see the little differences. But like I said, I wish they would change up the card, kind of the stand as well, so it's not just the typical plain black, and give it that more platinum sense and feel to it like the collector edition figures do. In terms of the actual card and the stand, I think that would be something cool to really do in terms of the platinum version as well, to really just give that special feel. But yeah, I really like the shimmer and shine, just like the regular version here on the platinum version. So I think it's very cool based on that. The articulation, just like I said, for the regular version, I am very, very surprised how well articulated it is. And yes, the only issue is that I may have trouble like actually posing it to make sure it doesn't fall over by any means because of all that weight there in the back. So that's one just small issue, and the fact that those red dots aren't there on the actual cowl or mask, whatever you want to call it, that's another kind of deduction. But yeah, I can't remember the score I gave on the regular version, but it's pretty much the same here on the platinum version. I think I gave him a 9.6 or 9.8 on the regular. I'm just go with the same for the platinum version here. But yeah, that's going to wrap up my final thoughts. If you did like the review, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. But until then, enjoy collecting.